This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 11. Coverage you can count on.
This woman looked right into the eyes of a killer as he shot her mother and 3 other women in a Castleberry hair salon.
And I just waited for the cops to come, and I just sat there with her and I just waited.
Tonight, for the first time since that murderous rampage, she's telling her story. Catherine Batista is one of 4 women who survived when Bradford Beaumet stormed into the Las Dominicanas salon last month. Batista was the only woman who wasn't able to hide, and she still managed to make it out alive.
Just incredible. She told her story of survival to Channel 9's Renee Stoll tonight. Renee, it's really unbelievable to think what this woman has gone through.
That is true. In fact, here at the salon, it's been closed for quite some time. They put up this paper on the window so nobody can see in. And at this point, we don't believe it's going to be opening back up. And Kathy Batista told us what happened here will haunt her forever. Tonight, for the first time, Kathy Batista told us about surviving the unimaginable. It all started at Las Dominicanas salon last month.
This was our first time at this hair salon.
Batista and her mother, Gladys Cabrera, were inside the salon when police say Bradford Beaumet opened fire, shooting his ex-girlfriend and killing 3 women, one of them Batista's mother. She recalls Beaumet making phone calls to the salon that day and his ex, Marcia Santiago, talking about the injunction she filed against him.
They were talking about like details as far as the issue and why they were going to court, but you really don't pay attention.
15 minutes later, Beaumet showed up with a gun. Cabrera was shot in the head right in front of her daughter.
Even when I saw her at her last moment, she looked like an angel. I just admired her and I just waited for the cops to come.
6 weeks later, Batista is still having flashbacks of the scene, but is finding therapy and bringing awareness to domestic violence, an issue she and her family never experienced before.
I'm going to do whatever I can do. If I couldn't save her life, but I do want to save others.
Beaumet's ex-girlfriend, Marcia Santiago, is still in the hospital tonight. Friends tell us that she is improving, but she still has a long way to go. Marty?
And it's only been about 6 weeks since this happened, so this is really very fresh for her to even talk about, Renee.
That's right. In fact, she said she has really hard days. Oftentimes, she forgets for a split second that she can't call her mother when she realizes it really breaks her heart. But getting the message out about domestic violence is really what she believes her mother would want her to do.
A very unselfish thing to do. Thank you, Renee. Kathy Batista and her family are starting their work with an event this weekend. It will raise money to help those affected by this incident and others suffering from domestic violence. We've posted a link to the event's Facebook page in the web link section of WFTV.com.
Right now, traffic's backed up about 2 miles on I-4 in Orlando. Look at this because of a semi-truck. It went off the roadway and hit a tree. Here's a live look at the scene right now on the I-4 eastbound lanes at Universal Boulevard, where 1 lane is blocked at this hour. We're told the accident happened near South Kirkman Road just after 8 o'clock tonight, and the truck driver had minor injuries. Authorities say the truck had a minor fuel leak, but it's been cleaned up. We'll bring you more updates as soon as we get them. Covering Volusia County tonight, police now say the Orange County teenager who accidentally shot and killed himself in a library stole that gun himself.
16-year-old Raid Gautier accidentally shot himself in an Orange City public library on November 15th. Police say he and 19-year-old Ahai Blakely stole the gun from an unlocked car in the Granville Apartments. The gun belonged to a Pine Ridge High School football coach and his wife. Today, the coach's wife told us the car was accidentally left unlocked.
My heart goes out to his family. May God be with them, because I don't have a child yet, and I can only imagine how the hurt the parent is feeling right now.
The owners say they inherited the gun from a relative. Police say they will not get in trouble for leaving the gun in an unlocked car.
Tonight, an Orange County grandmother is facing child neglect charges for leaving her young children alone in a filthy house.
We found Elba Echeverria has been investigated by DCF before, and so has her son and the children's mother. Channel 9's Kenneth Craig joins us now. And Kenneth, you asked DCF why these children are with their mother tonight.
Marty, it is hard to understand, especially when you consider the fact that sheriff's deputies have been to this apartment right over here where these children were staying 5 times just this year. Inside this Orange County apartment is where investigators found the two children, just 3 and 4 years old, partially clothed, dirty, and left alone without food in a unit full of roaches. Neighbors were stunned.
Uncalled for.
Their grandmother, Elba Echevarria, was arrested for child neglect after DCF received a complaint.
I'm surprised. She seems like a really nice person.
But we dug through records and found the situation may not be surprising at all. The grandmother, the children's mother, and their father all have a history with DCF for similar situations. The father, Carlos Arce, was even arrested in September, accused of beating up his girlfriend. What is surprising, the children haven't been removed from the troubled family.
If you've got a grandmother who has history, a father who has history, and a mother who has history, why are those children tonight back with their mother again?
Well, I think that's probably actually common, unfortunately.
The children's mother has full custody, and DCF officials say because she wasn't involved this time and past complaints against her aren't severe enough to remove the children, they had no choice.
Now, if we had concerns regarding her judgment and her actions and her inability to protect these children, at that point you would see social services step in.
This grandmother has since bonded out of jail. I tried to talk with her here at her apartment tonight, but no one was home. It's the latest live in Orange County. Kenneth Craig, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
All right, Kenneth, thank you. Developing tonight, a bear attacked a family pet in a Seminole County neighborhood.
When it attacks an animal, what's next? Is there going to be a little child, an adult? So they need to do something.
We spoke to furious residents who say they've complained about this bear to wildlife officials several times. Coming up in less than 10 minutes, the reason officials say they didn't try to capture the bear before. An
Orange County after-school worker accused of sexually assaulting the young boys he was supposed to be watching will go to trial next week. We broke the story last year when Charles Hayes was arrested. He is accused of abusing at least 3 young children at the Woodhill Park Apartments. Hayes is facing kidnapping and sexual battery charges. Detectives now say 2 persons of interest in a murder at an Orange County Chinese restaurant did participate in the crime.
Investigators are still looking for Raymond Barnes and Calvin Washington in connection with Anna Soon's murder at the China Walk in Pine Hills back in September. A longtime friend told us Barnes and Washington grew up together. He says Washington played football for Boone High just a few years ago and says both were good kids.
Calvin only worked, went to school. He was a real good kid. He never hung around in the neighborhood, none of that.
We're keeping up with the search for Barnes and Washington, and we'll bring you any updates as they come in.
Today, friends, family, and fans said goodbye to boxing legend Hector Macho Camacho, who once lived in Orlando. You see, dozens of people attended his wake in San Juan. The 50-year-old was shot in the neck and face last Tuesday night. He died Saturday after being taken off life support. Police in Puerto Rico are still searching for the 2 gunmen. Camacho was facing charges in Orange County following allegations that he beat up his teenage son at his ex-wife's home. We could find out tomorrow if a judge will toss the civil suit against Florida A&M University over the hazing death of drum major Robert Champion. Attorneys for the university will argue the school should not be held responsible because Champion willingly participated in the hazing on board a bus after the Florida Classic in Orlando last November. Champion's parents already rejected a $300,000 settlement offer. Our legal analyst said even if the suit against the school doesn't stick, there are other options.
Remember, even if the judge dismisses the case against the university, the Champions still have a lawsuit against the bus company and the bus driver.
The hearing starts at 9:30 tomorrow morning, and we'll let you know what happens.
The city of Sanford is considering spending more money to fix the embattled police department. City leaders might hire a consulting firm now to assess policies at the department. This comes after the city gave an expensive payout to former Chief Bill Lee after he resigned, paid a headhunter to find a new chief, and now is paying the interim chief $10 grand a month. One city commissioner told us enough is enough.
How much can we review the police department? How many more nasty things are we going to say about them?
Sanford city manager said he doesn't know how much the consultant would cost, and he'll only hire one if the new chief wants the extra help.
Federal drug officials have given an Oviedo Walgreens store just over a month to explain why it should not be shut down after it was raided. We told you in April when this Walgreens store on Lockwood Boulevard was one of 3 Florida pharmacies raided after reports showed it ordered 1.7 million doses of oxycodone pills last year. Now the DEA has given the pharmacies an opportunity to provide evidence as to why their licenses should not be revoked. A hearing will be held on January 7th in Washington. Tonight, Orlando police are warning residents about a phone scam. Residents have complained that a caller claims to have kidnapped somebody they know, and then the caller threatens to hurt the person if money isn't wired. If you get this type of call, you're asked to call police.
There's just one more day left to buy tickets for tomorrow night's historic Powerball drawing, which now stands at $500 million. The $500 million jackpot is a world record and had even the most skeptical folks deciding to take their chances and play. We saw dozens of people buying tickets here at spots like Food and Lotto along Cimarron Boulevard. The owner told us he's ready for the crowds.
Today's a preview of what's going to be going on tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be a complete mayhem.
It's going to be crazy. The jackpot still comes with very long odds, about 175 million to 1. If you take the cash option, you bring home $325 million, and that's after taxes.
New tonight.
Just hours ago, a dog was attacked by a bear that's been roaming these woods in this neighborhood for months. I'll explain why wildlife officials would not capture the bear despite dozens of complaints.
On track in a weak cold front moving closer to us tonight, and who could wake up to fog straight ahead.
You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 11 with Greg Warmuth, Marty Salt, and certified chief meteorologist Tom Terry.
A bear attack in Seminole County tonight put a family's pet right in an animal hospital.
The dog was attacked in the Magnolia Plantation neighborhood where residents have been complaining about bears for months. In fact, in August, they sent us this picture. Channel 9's Tim Barber is live there now. And Tim, the dog's owner had been asking wildlife officials to catch this bear, but they wouldn't do it. What's going on?
Absolutely, Marty. But tonight, the family believes they finally have a case to get the bear booted from these woods. Bloody gashes cover 6-year-old Dakota's face. A Seminole County vet confirms it's the work of a black bear. Connie and Mark Gellner believe it's the same black bear that has been roaming their Heathrow neighborhood for months.
He lives right in this no trespassing. He lives right back in here.
Mark let the chocolate lab out to go to the bathroom around 6:30. A few minutes later, Dakota came back whimpering and covered in blood.
Now we're scared. We don't know what to do about letting them out to go to the bathroom, to let the kids go out and play.
Connie says she sees the black bear at least once a week. Fish and wildlife officials say the bears are scouring for food to get ready for their winter hibernation. The Gellners and their neighbors have been trying to get wildlife officials to catch the bear, but they were told it was not causing any major problems.
That's very frustrating. I guess they basically says they have to determine if it's a nuisance.
Now the family of 4 is hoping these gruesome pictures will prove otherwise.
And I don't want the bear put down, but let's remove the bear and put it somewhere safe. It's not safe here. We're not safe now here.
The Gellners contacted Florida Fish and Wildlife, which is going to send someone out to these woods to inspect the area tomorrow. As for Dakota, she just got a surgery within the last hour or so. She's doing fine other than the scratches on her face. That's the latest here live in Seminole County. Tim Barber, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
We all like to hear that, Tim. Thanks so much. Work's underway right now on what will soon be Palm Bay's biggest building. Governor Rick Scott was among about a dozen dignitaries who turned ceremonial dirt this morning on the Harris Corporation's $100 million technology center that will bring 100 new high-paying jobs. But the plans include cutting off Troutman Boulevard and shifting thousands of cars to a neighboring street, which has residents upset.
They own 198 acres. You can't tell anyone that they could not have placed this building in many other locations.
Harris's CEO said they're already working to address the traffic issue. The project is not expected to be finished until 2014.
Only Eyewitness News found out about an arrest at the heart of Kissimmee's tourist corridor as police work to clean up that area. Police say these men came from out of state for sex and to deliver meth to somebody who turned out to be an undercover officer. They met at a Motel 6 across the street from the Old Town attraction. County leaders say operations like this are key to revitalizing 192. Statistics show crime has dropped there. Robbery alone is down 54%. A Channel 9 investigation may save Orange County taxpayers some big money. We told you last night how our report put the spotlight on some luxury downtown offices used by the county property appraiser's office and tax collector's office. The rent is more than $1 million a year. Today, Commissioner Scott Boyd suggested to other county leaders that they look at other options.
I think it's a prime opportunity to move out of some of probably more of a higher rent area and be more efficient, be more out in the community and being able to have accessibility for parking.
County administrators plan to come up with a list of options early next year. One possibility would be to buy a closed retail store and then convert it into offices.
New tonight, Brevard County Commissioners voted unanimously to offer a mystery business money in exchange for new jobs. An unnamed business wants to take over the empty Palm Bay Chevrolet dealership right here on this map. Commissioners will give the business $10 million in bonds to renovate the site in exchange for 150 new jobs during the next 3 years.
On Thursday, we'll be at the Kennedy Space Center to show you the Space Shuttle Atlantis in its brand new home. Crews will wrap the shuttle in a protective covering and then suspend it in the air, and this will be the last work on Atlantis until March, when that covering is removed. Atlantis is scheduled to go on display permanently next July.
So we were scheduled to be unseasonably warm, thanks to certified chief meteorologist Tom Terry and all his advice.
Thanks to?
Well, average is 76, so just a little bit above that is fine.
Just a tad.
Not too far above, because we don't want to kick the AC back on. You know what I'm saying?
Mine's on. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just turned it off.
Thomas, it's like it's always on.
The pool's nice and cool, though. Jump in the pool. 70 degrees there. Right now, we still have some low clouds over downtown Orlando, and boy, it did get a little warm today. 79 in Orlando. We still have some low clouds. Even had a sprinkle earlier today. Cold front is back here to the west, and it'll be approaching after midnight tonight in our western zones, and a couple sprinkles out ahead of it showing up on our future track forecast model, showing just a sprinkle or two past 5 o'clock. Front moves by. You see some clouds starting to break up a little bit during the afternoon. We'll call it mostly cloudy tomorrow. Not much in the way of measurable rainfall. By the way, this is the 10th driest November on record. Only one day we had a good downpour, 0.23 officially at the airport. Otherwise, we would have only had a trace for the entire month. Right now, we're still sitting pretty warm. 61 Ocala, 64 in Orlando. Quite a warm up from last night. Ocala 9 degrees warmer. These are the dew points. Dew points have gone way up. The higher this number, the more moisture there is, and the closer we can get to the dew point with our temperature, the closer we are to getting a chance for some fog. And you see the light winds out there tonight, and already some patchy fog. The Villages, Claremont, Leesburg, Winter Haven. So I do think we will see some areas of fog, mainly in our western and southern zones where the moisture content's a little bit higher. Maybe a sprinkle overnight tonight or some drizzle. Temperatures right around 60 degrees along the beaches, 58 Titusville and Melbourne. As you can see back here to the west, here comes our frontal system itself. Moisture just kind of rolling in out ahead of it, but not any cold air. Jet stream is way to the north, so we don't have any cold air to back up this front, so it kind of limps in. We will see high pressure move in back behind it, though, and this will keep us on the drier and warmer side heading in toward the end of the week and into the weekend. The only exception could be a few showers along the beaches. I have a 10% rain chance in from Thursday to Saturday as temperatures slowly moderate. 79, not 80, 79 closing in on the upcoming weekend. It looks pretty good if you're heading toward the beaches. Wind switching out of the north tomorrow. Water temperature a bit chilly, but otherwise the wave heights have come down a bit, but the wave action will increase as we get later in the week with that steady easterly flow. But very humid tonight, upper 50s to near 60 as the front approaches. Mid to upper 70s. I think we'll stop around 76 in Orlando, but not too shabby. That is average for this time of late November. There's your 5-day forecast with the weekend always in view. Temperature slowly stair-stepping up. 78 on Friday, 79 for our first Santa Saturday event. You can go to icflorida.com for all the latest events going on this weekend, and just an outside chance for a shower. We'll be right back.
Download the free Eyewitness News iPad app. Weather, traffic, and live newscasts wherever you are. In the App Store now. Just search WFTV. Complete Central Florida news coverage now on your iPad.
A sign tonight, the local housing market is improving. A new report shows foreclosures are selling for more money than they did just a couple of years ago. According to Zillow, Orlando home buyers can expect to get a 4.5% discount on a foreclosure over a traditional home sale. In 2010, that discount was closer to 24%. Housing inventory has also dropped 20% over this time last year.
A Facebook picture helped 2 burglary victims lead police to the thief who stole from their Oakland home. Police say 18-year-old Javante Golden broke into the home on Oakland Avenue on Sunday. Well, he stole computers, gaming systems, and several other stuff. But one of the victims found a picture of him on Facebook wearing a pair of glasses that he stole. So all that time on Facebook, not a waste.
Not good. Yeah.
After years of trying, UCF athletics will finally leave Conference USA next year.
It's an expensive move, but now it looks like it only may be a small change.
Well, UCF agreed to pay millions in exit fees to leave Conference USA, but now half the teams in that conference are coming with them. Tulane will join the Big East in all sports in 2014, with East Carolina joining in football only. That means 6 of the 12 schools in Conference USA right now will be in the Big East playing football by 2014. Meanwhile, UCF plays Tulsa in the Conference USA Championship game this Saturday. Combined, the 2 schools have won 4 of the last 7 conference titles. The Knights lost to Tulsa by just 2 points 2 weeks ago, and players say they're excited about the rematch in their final Conference USA game.
Both teams know what they expect from each other, and it's just going to be who's going to be more successful and more physical on the field.
It's the kind of game you want to be involved in. You know, it being the last game of the season and being the biggest one so far for the conference championship.
We couldn't ask for anything else. You know, 2 best teams in the conference, and we have the same record, and we get another shot at them. So let's go.
It should be fun. Elsewhere in college football, Florida State defensive coordinator Mark Stoops will be introduced as Kentucky's head coach on Sunday. Under Stoops, the Seminoles defense was ranked 2nd in the country this season. They were 108th 3 years ago before Stoops took over. Now, Florida State head coach Jimbo Fisher was also rumored to be a candidate for the opening at Auburn, but told the Miami Herald today that he's not interested and is happy in Tallahassee. In high school, there are now 7 open coaching jobs in the area, including 5 in Orange County. Freedom's Andy Johnson stepped down today after leading the Patriots the last 7 years, while Edgewater decided not to retain interim head coach Dave Wenzel after the Eagles went 3-8 in his 1 season. Boone, West Orange, Wekiva, Hagerty, and Winter Springs also need new coaches. In college basketball, Florida State hosting 21st ranked Minnesota in the first round of the ACC Big Ten Challenge, and it wasn't much of a challenge for the Golden Gophers. Austin Hollins misses the 3, but Rodney Williams was there to jam it home. Minnesota would lead by as many as 15 in the first half. Terrence Shannon cuts into that lead, throwing down 2 of his team-high 14, but the Seminoles never get it closer than 9 the rest of the way, eventually losing 77-68. As for the NBA, the Orlando Magic go back to work tomorrow night, hosting San Antonio at the Amway Center at 7 o'clock. We'll be right back.
There's a fight brewing in Lake County over what critics call big tax breaks for builders. For the last 3 years, the county has waived millions of dollars in impact fees on residential and commercial construction. The fees paid for new roads. Now, the county budget is short, and some say it's time to restore the fees. But commissioners are cautious, saying they don't want to impose fees that could drive away new jobs.
Covering news where you live, county by county tonight. In Polk County, an arrest was just made for the murder of a man whose body was found in a citrus grove. Alex Baez of Claremont is charged with shooting and killing Jose Santos and burying him in a shallow grave in a Polk County orange grove about 2 weeks ago. Evidence and eyewitnesses helped lead to the arrest, but investigators have not revealed a motive. In Marion County, the asking price for a house famous for being the 1930s hideout of gangster Ma Barker and her sons has been lowered. We told you in August when the house on Lake Weir went up for sale for $1 million, but now the price has been reduced to $889,000. In 1935, Ma Barker rented the house and was hiding there when a shootout with the FBI killed her and her son Fred. In Brevard County today, some students from a school on Merritt Island helped fill stockings with gifts for troops. You can see 7th and 8th grade students from Divine Mercy Catholic Academy writing cards and stuffing stockings with things like candy, playing cards, and books. The stockings will be shipped to the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower to be given out on Christmas. And to get more news from your county, visit the County by County section at WFTV.com.
Next, Tom Terry's back with your wake-up weather forecast for your neighborhood.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry. Get your Central Florida 5-day forecast from Severe Weather Center 9 every morning in the Orlando Sentinel. We're expecting some patchy fog to develop overnight tonight, especially toward daybreak as a cold front gets very close to I-4. Temperatures hovering around 60. Marty?
All right. Thank you, Tom. And be sure to watch Eyewitness News Daybreak tomorrow morning starting at 5. Excuse me, and get weather and traffic information every 10 minutes.
Thanks for watching. Channel 9 Eyewitness News Nightline right here is next.